The Snowtown Murders. The Snowtown Murders, also known as the Bodies in Barrels murders, are some of the most gruesome and notorious crimes in Australian history. These serial killings occurred in South Australia between August 1992 and May 1999, and they involved the torture, murder, and dismemberment of at least 12 victims. The perpetrators were John Bunting, Robert Wagner, James Vlassakis, and Mark Hayden. The discovery of the murders in the small town of Snowtown shocked the nation and highlighted severe failures in social services and the criminal justice system. Background: John Bunting was the ringleader of the group. Born on September 4, 1966, he harbored intense hatred for pedophiles and homosexuals, which he used to justify his heinous actions. Bunting was charismatic and manipulative, easily influencing those around him to participate in his crimes. Robert Wagner, born on November 28, 1971, was a close associate of Bunting. He had a troubled past and was easily drawn into Bunting's orbit, becoming a willing participant in the murders. James Vlassakis, the youngest member, was born on December 24, 1979. He had a traumatic upbringing and was introduced to Bunting through his mother, who was Bunting's girlfriend. Vlassakis eventually became deeply involved in the murders. Mark Hayden, born on December 4, 1958, was a friend of Bunting and Wagner. He was primarily involved in helping to dispose of the bodies and manage the financial aspects of the crimes. The murders. The murders were characterized by extreme cruelty and were driven by Bunting's perverse sense of vigilantism. The victims were often chosen because Bunting perceived them as pedophiles, homosexuals, or weak individuals who deserved to die. Methods of torture and murder: the victims were subjected to horrific torture before being murdered. Bunting and his accomplices would interrogate their victims, demanding bank account details and personal identification numbers, which they used to steal welfare payments. Bodies in barrels: the bodies were dismembered and stored in barrels filled with acid to dissolve the remains and prevent identification. These barrels were initially kept in Bunting's house and later moved to a disused bank vault in Snowtown, a small rural town about 150 kilometers north of Adelaide. Investigation and discovery. Discovery in Snowtown: the breakthrough in the case came on May 20, 1999, when police discovered 6 barrels containing human remains in a disused bank vault in Snowtown. Subsequent investigations led to the discovery of more remains in other locations, bringing the total number of victims to at least 12. Arrests: the discovery quickly led to the arrests of John Bunting, Robert Wagner, James Vlassakis, and Mark Hayden. The investigation revealed a chilling pattern of sadistic murders carried out over nearly a decade. Trial and conviction. The trials of Bunting, Wagner, Vlassakis, and Hayden were among the longest and most complex in Australian legal history. They involved extensive forensic evidence, witness testimonies, and the detailed accounts of the torture and murders. John Bunting was found guilty of 11 murders and sentenced to 11 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. His leadership role and the brutality of his crimes made him the primary target of the prosecution. Robert Wagner was convicted of 10 murders and received the same sentence as Bunting, 10 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. James Vlassakis, who cooperated with the authorities and provided crucial information about the murders, was convicted of 4 murders. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with a non-parole period of 26 years. Mark Hayden was convicted of assisting in the murders and helping to dispose of the bodies. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison with a non-parole period of 18 years. Impact and legacy. The Snowtown murders had a profound impact on Australian society, highlighting severe deficiencies in the monitoring of welfare fraud and the protection of vulnerable individuals. The case led to increased scrutiny of social services and improved measures to prevent similar crimes in the future. Media and cultural impact. The case has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and a feature film titled Snowtown, 2011, which depicted the horrific events and the lives of those involved. These works have kept the public interest in the case alive and have provided insights into the psychology of the killers and their victims. Reforms. the case prompted reforms in how authorities handle missing persons reports and welfare fraud investigations, aiming to prevent such extensive criminal activities from going undetected for so long. Conclusion. As we explore the Snowtown Murders on True Crime, we will delve into the detailed timeline of events, the investigation, and the broader societal implications of this horrific case. Join us as we examine the evidence, the impact on the community, and the ongoing debates about justice, mental health, and the responsibilities of social services. The story of the Snowtown Murders serves as a powerful reminder of the depths of human depravity and the importance of vigilance in protecting society's most vulnerable members.